Welcome back to Bike Culture Hub. The Yamaha SR name has long echoed in the halls of motorcycling nostalgia. From the streets of Tokyo to the twisty backroads of California, the SR series has stood the test of time. Simple, honest, thumping single-cylinder machines that embody the purest spirit of motorcycling. Now, in 2025, Yamaha reignites that heritage flame with the all-new SR450, a modern classic that bridges generations. For fans of retro style with a taste of contemporary engineering, this is the moment you've been waiting for. The 2025 Yamaha SR450 is not just a motorcycle, it's a tribute. A tribute to the decades of craftsmanship and culture that began with the SR400 back in the late 70s. But it's also a rebirth. Yamaha didn't just polish up the past, they reimagined it. What we get today is a motorcycle that feels familiar but completely refreshed. It has soul. It has presence. And most importantly, it has a place in today's world. At the heart of the SR450 is a newly developed 445 cubic centimeters air-cooled single-cylinder engine. This isn't a carryover from the old SR400. Yamaha has reworked the internals, adjusted the bore and stroke to optimize torque delivery, and added modern electronic fuel injection and a lightweight crankshaft. The result is an engine that thumps like a vintage single but revs smoother and quicker, offering around 30 horsepower and 36 Nm of torque. While those numbers may not set records, they're delivered in a way that makes you grin from ear to ear. This bike isn't about blistering top speed, it's about that linear, tractable power that makes urban riding joyful and backroad cruising addictive. Twisting the throttle gives you that familiar single-cylinder thump, but with far less vibration than expected. Yamaha has cleverly mounted the engine with rubber dampers and introduced a secondary counterbalancer, making the ride far more refined without losing that classic feel. The 5-speed gearbox is precise, shifts are crisp, and clutch pull is feather-light, ideal for daily commuting or long weekend rides. The frame is a tubular steel double cradle unit, reminiscent of the SR400's original architecture but re-engineered for stiffness and reduced weight. Yamaha's goal here was to maintain the bike's slim profile and neutral handling but make it feel sharper and more composed through corners. The result is a dry weight of just 164 kilograms, which means the SR450 is as nimble as ever, flickable, responsive, and easy to manage even for new riders. Suspension comes courtesy of a conventional 41mm front fork and dual rear shocks. Yamaha stayed true to the vintage aesthetic here but improved damping rates for modern road conditions. It soaks up city potholes and backroad bumps comfortably while still delivering confident feedback during spirited rides. Ground clearance sits at 145mm, and the seat height is a very approachable 790mm, making it a great fit for riders of all sizes. Whether you're hopping on for a quick cafe run or spending a full day carving through canyons, the SR450 feels comfortable and planted. Braking has seen a major upgrade compared to its ancestors. The front now features a 298mm single disc with a dual piston caliper, while the rear sports a 245mm disc. ABS comes standard, and Yamaha has tuned it not to intervene too early, so you still get that analog riding experience. It's predictable, confident, and safe, again, a fusion of vintage soul and modern practicality. One of the standout elements of the SR450 is its design. This bike looks like it rolled straight out of the 1970s but with a polish that only 2025 can provide. The teardrop fuel tank is now slightly larger at 14 liters and features beautifully hand-finished paint with pinstripes on select trims. Available in colors like classic black, retro maroon, and vintage silver, each SR450 is a work of rolling art. The chrome accents on the fenders, exhaust, and mirrors are tastefully done, not overwhelming, just enough to reflect its heritage. The seat is a flat, ribbed bench wrapped in leather-textured vinyl, offering ample room for both rider and passenger. The stitched detailing is subtle but elegant. It feels premium without trying too hard. Switchgear is minimal, the instrumentation is fully analog, featuring a dual-pod layout with a speedometer and tachometer, and yet, tucked inside the cluster is a small digital screen that displays fuel level, odometer, and trip info. A perfect nod to modern expectations without sacrificing the vintage vibe. Lighting is another area where Yamaha smartly blended form with function. The round headlamp retains its classic shape but now houses a powerful LED unit. Same goes for the taillight and indicators, traditional form, upgraded function. You get the visual appeal of a 1978 street bike with the night riding confidence of today's tech. There's also a strong emphasis on customization. Yamaha knows the SR platform has always attracted tinkerers, so they designed the SR450 with a modular mindset. The subframe is bolt-on, allowing riders to easily convert it into a cafe racer, brat, or scrambler. Wiring harnesses are simplified, and the accessory catalog includes everything from low clip-ons to scrambler exhausts and vintage tank pads. This isn't just a motorcycle, it's a blank canvas. What sets the SR450 apart in 2025's crowded retro-modern market is its balance. Where other bikes lean heavily on retro visuals but feel overly digital or disconnected, the SR450 stays analog in spirit. You kickstart it or press the button, because yes, it has electric start too, and it comes to life with a gentle rumble. You feel the engine's pulse through your boots, hear the exhaust note growl as you twist the throttle, and experience the road as it was meant to be experienced, unfiltered, direct, and alive. Riding the SR450 is like reading a classic book with freshly printed pages. You know the soul of it, the history behind it, but the execution is crisp, clean, and new. It doesn't demand anything from you. It invites you into a simpler rhythm, into enjoying the ride itself rather than the destination. You're not fighting for the red line or chasing lap times. You're flowing with traffic, leaning into turns, feeling each vibration and shift like an extension of your thoughts. In terms of pricing, Yamaha has been strategic. The 2025 SR450 is expected to hit showrooms at around $5,999. That positions it competitively among bikes like the Royal Enfield Classic 350 and Honda GB 350, while offering more power, more refinement, and a stronger legacy. For riders looking to step into the retro scene without breaking the bank or compromising on quality, this bike makes a compelling case. Fuel efficiency is another strong suit. With Yamaha's refined EFI system and lightweight build, the SR450 delivers an impressive 30 to 35 km/L under mixed conditions. That means fewer stops at the pump, more miles of pure riding joy, and even daily commuting becomes an experience to savor. One more unique trait that can't be overlooked is how approachable the SR450 is. Whether you're a new rider looking for a reliable first bike or an old-school enthusiast wanting something to wrench on over weekends, this bike welcomes you with open arms. There's no learning curve that intimidates, no complexity that overwhelms. Just throttle, clutch, and gears, exactly how riding used to be. And yet, for all its charm, the SR450 doesn't pretend to be something it's not. It's not a race bike. It's not overloaded with rider modes or TFT screens or Bluetooth integration. It's unapologetically simple. It's real. And in a world where motorcycling is becoming increasingly digitized, that authenticity is priceless. As you ride away on the SR450, you realize something rare: it doesn't just take you from point A to point B. It takes you somewhere else entirely. Somewhere between memory and modernity. Somewhere personal. A bike like this doesn't come around often, and when it does, it's not just bought. It's cherished. So that wraps up our full review of the 2025 Yamaha SR450 here on Bike Culture Hub. If this thumper has stolen your heart the way it has ours, let us know in the comments. Would you pick it over a Royal Enfield or Honda's Neo Retros? Or maybe this is the perfect base for your next custom build? Hit like, share it with your fellow riders, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth reviews just like this. Ride safe, ride true, and we'll see you in the next one.